and something that personally he's been looking forward to, and the passion and the perseverance with which we've made this project. I hope it translates to all of you, and you have the same passion and fervor that we have as well. And we look forward to welcoming a lot more coming in the future, but let's focus on this now. This is an iconic project, and we are going to give you details shortly of all these things. Katie, where's Katie? So this is from Abu Sabah's side. All right, and I'm going to provide details of what this project is all about. You know, when you look at Dubai, Dubai is one of the most sought after destinations in the world in terms of touristic enterprises, right? You're looking at people from all over the world coming here, and they love, everybody loves Dubai. But what that does as a byproduct, as a result, is you're also having Dubai as one of the most hospitality dense cities in the world, which brings on its own challenge, right? When you come here, you're spoiled for choice, right? You have so many options to choose from, and you're going through a plethora of options, right? So how do you stand out, right? As a developer, it's a challenge. You've got to find ways to stand out and deliver an experience that in the mind of the consumer is something that offers value. And you can only do that by not only crafting, amalgamating, and delivering experiences that create value in the mind of the end user, but also stand out in the way that you deliver these experiences. You've got to be spot on, or you've missed the bus. And for us, what we've done is, strategically used 3 points as a developer, which is strategic placement, strategic positioning, and we're also looking at strategic tie-ups. So, Katie, I need the buzzer. Sorry, Katie, I need the buzzer, please. Yes, please go on.
Yep. Fantastic. Now, I would love to hear a little bit more from you later in the night. So, Baldev, can you join us a little bit later this evening? Because I want to hear a lot more about this incredible new development. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are so excited to be here tonight for the official launch of Fairmont Residences Dubai Skyline. Now, of course, as many of you already know, Fairmont is the most iconic brand within the expansive hospitality group of Accor. And close to 1 year ago, Accor proudly launched Accor One Living. Their dedicated real estate arm with a focus on developing, designing and operating mixed-use properties and branded living communities. And I think within this venture, this incredible new project is certainly one of the most exciting new developments to add to their amazing portfolio. So with that in mind, I'm delighted to welcome our next speaker to the stage. Mr. Daniel von Barlevan is the Regional Vice President of Accor One Living and the Head of Mixed Use for Europe, the Middle East and Africa. Let's give him a very warm welcome to the stage.
Thank you very much, Katie. And welcome everybody. Delighted to see all of you here. Without you, none of these real estate projects would succeed. So the developers are critical, the brokers are essential, and all of this at the end of the day is about a partnership between the brands that deliver hospitality services to the residence owners and those individual residence owners themselves. So I'll give you a little bit of history on Fairmont, and then specifically some more on what residences we have within the Accor portfolio, and then also what the benefits are for buyers when they buy an Accor residence. So with a brief history, Fairmont is one of the oldest hospitality firms in the world. And why am I going to talk a bit about Fairmont specifically now? It's, if you think about it, and you guys are much closer to the pulse than I am with buyers, but the most significant investment any of us can make in our lives is the real estate that we buy. So above all, when someone is buying a branded residence, they are committing to a particular brand, which means that to successfully sell that branded residence, we don't just need the product to be amazing, which is exactly what we have here. But we also need the services that we'll be providing to be amazing as well. And the history behind the brand is critical for buyers to understand. So Fairmont is one of the oldest brands in the world from hospitality, since 1907. It's a place where history-defining moments have taken place. It hosted some of the most amazing events that you would have seen over different times in history. We're a pioneer in sustainability as well. So where did Fairmont start? Fairmont started with two different things. Firstly, the Canadian Grand Pacific Railway, which was initially developed with the idea of taking tourists across Canada. Now that's wonderful, but they need somewhere to stay. So the Canadian Pacific Railway developed hotels in strategic locations alongside that railway line. At the same time, Teresa Fair and Virginia Fair Vanderbilt built a hotel at the top of the mount in San Francisco. That, they called it the Fairmont Hotel. Fair because of their father, and then Mount because of where it sits. That hotel, you'll see a picture of it later, is one of our iconic century-old hotels, which many of you will recognize instantly from some classic films, including The Rock. So you can see significant events which are taking place in more than a century of history of the Fairmont brand. What is Fairmont's vision? Fairmont's vision is an unwavering commitment to excellence, continuously evolving the brand. That's a really key point. If you're a buyer, what you're buying into a brand which is an iconic luxury brand today. It was iconic luxury a century ago, and it will continue to be an iconic luxury brand in another 100 years because of the investment that, as an operator, we will continue to put into it. We preserve the legacy of timeless elegance. We have a huge commitment at a core towards sustainability, which for now, for buyers, as you also know, is a key thing which they're looking for. What is Fairmont's mission? We synthesize what Fairmont stands for into turning moments into memories. If you stay at a Fairmont hotel, that is everything about what we aim to do for you as a guest at a Fairmont. And if you're a buyer at a Fairmont residence, we are going to do the same thing in terms of the residential operations. We will aim to turn individual moments as a residence owner you have throughout the day into life-lasting memories. So some key facts for you to have on Fairmont, and some of these you can Google them, but we're also able to provide them if you need, because buyers are going to be interested in this type of thing. We have 19 hotels around the world which are more than a century old, 31 resorts, 16 of them are golf resorts, 15 operating branded residences, and 21 in the pipeline to open over the next 4 or 5 years. 25% of our business comes from meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions. We have 28 hotels in our portfolio currently undergoing extensive renovations to ensure that they are, as I was saying, continuously maintaining that standard of excellence. These are some of the iconic hotels across the US. The Plaza in New York, for those of you who remember Home Alone, that's just one of the films which took place in that property. San Francisco on the right, the initial Fairmont. Canada, these were the initial iconic hotels built alongside the Canadian Railway. The rest of the world, the Savoy in London, Carlton House, Doha, which opened a couple of years ago. Beautiful resorts. Mayakoba, Maldives, these are just some examples of the iconic Fairmont hotels around the world. And I'll come back to this a bit later, but a key thing to remember as a buyer is what you buy into when you buy a Fairmont residence is you're buying into being a member of this family. Our Fairmont residence owners are VVIPs across not just the Fairmont network, not just these hotels, but more than 5,600 hotels around the world. That's where they're treated as VIPs. Iconic golf resorts. Some of our residences that you'll have recently seen announced in the press all of which have sold incredibly well. More than just hotels, restaurants. Some of the restaurants we have within the Fairmont portfolio are Michelin-starred restaurants. These are places where people will come from outside of the hotel guest community. They're coming specifically to go into the restaurants here. And if you're a residence owner, you get the benefits at the restaurants. You have one of these on your doorstep that can deliver a la carte services, a la carte dining into your residence. If you want the chef from the hotel restaurant, one of the hotel restaurants, to come and cook for you and your friends, that's something that you can have as an a la carte service. Some of the iconic bars. The heritage, really, really key. If you actually look at some of the events that took place here, the UN Charter was signed at the Fairmont in San Francisco. Apollo 11, the return of Apollo 11 was at Fairmont Century Plaza. The famous Bed-In for Peace took place at Fairmont the Queen Elizabeth in 1969. So enough about just that. Let's also have a look just at some highlights for you to be able to give to potential buyers. Fairmont is 84 hotels and 15 residences in 29 countries. There are more than 2,000 Fairmont residence owners currently in the world. 28 new hotels will open by 2027. 21 new branded residences. So more than 70% of Fairmont hotels currently under development include a residential component. Accor, so Fairmont, for those of you who don't know, Fairmont sits as a brand within the Accor portfolio. Accor is one of the few operators in the world, only 3 operators in the world that have more than 2 decades of experience in the branded residential industry. That is very, very significant because that is lessons learned. That is thousands of residences that we manage across the world with buyers of different nationalities and able to amalgamate hospitality service in a residential operational context. So I mentioned the 15 operating 21 pipeline. Within the core, that is 150 open and pipeline branded residential projects. We open on average 1 branded residence globally every 6 weeks. We open 1 hotel globally every day. You can see how Fairmont sits there within the different ecosystem, some of the brands within the Accor portfolio. Now, I'll skip on this quite quickly because I want to talk about the things that really you will find key in closing some of these sales. So, what exactly do the buyers get? What are the benefits if you're a buyer? So the key purchaser benefits, they buy because the brand for them gives emotional appeal. It gives them trust and confidence that they know exactly what the quality of Fairmont hotels are. They know the quality of our development partners. Those two together, they know that the door handle is not going to fall off in their hands the 5th time they open the front door. Privacy, there are only 122 units here. The access to the hotel services, 24/7 concierge, the quality of the innovative design, and the value protection. We manage as an operator some of the most iconic properties in the world. Over a long time, that we aim to add value for our owner partners, not just our hotel owners, but our individual residence owners, so that when they buy in a branded residence, they know the amount they're paying, it's going to continue to be worth that, because there are specific standards for Fairmont that need to be maintained at the property over time. The global recognition as a VVIP customer. So here, for these and for the next, I know I can see almost everyone taking videos, which is absolutely wonderful, that's what we love. The brochure that you'll be able to get from the sales team will list the specific benefits in terms of core services and a la carte services at Fairmont Residences Dubai Skyline. But this is an illustration of the typical brand services. Core services, which they have as part of the service charge, and a la carte services. This is where, as an operator, we really bring the brand experience to life. If you're a resident owner, you go out for a run every day, you come back at 7:20, and then you get into your car at 7:45 to go to work. The difference between a branded residence and a non-branded residence is a non-branded residence, you come back in, the concierge doesn't really know your name, he recognizes your face, says hello, you go back up, you come back down, you've got to wait for the valet to bring your car. A branded residence, the entire residential team and the hotel team know who you are, your name, your family name, your date of birth, your personal preferences. When you come back at 7:20 from your morning run, they've got a cold bottle of water ready for you. At 7:45, when you come down to go to the meeting, the valet's already got your car ready, without you needing to ask for it. That's the level of anticipation of what buyers and residence owners want that you deliver through hospitality branded residences. Private facilities. This project will have, and I don't want to steal the thunder from the rest of the presentations tonight, but really some incredible dedicated private facilities for the residence owners. And this is a key area through which you can bring the Fairmont brand to life in a residential operating context. And last but not least, if you buy a Fairmont residence, you can join a Fairmont Dubai Skyline. You're eligible to participate in the Accor Owner Benefits Program. Sounds wonderful? What is it? So the Accor Owner Benefits Program gives you VVIP status across the world. You are recognized as someone who is incredibly loyal to the brand as a buyer. That means that you have a dedicated VIP reservation desk to handle all your travel arrangements across 5,500 hotels. You get automatic upgrades on arrival and early check-in, late check-out. Obviously, as always, with a caveat, subject to availability. You get 20% off best available rates at almost all of our hotels. So we're talking hotels where it's £1,000, £2,000 or dollars, euros, whatever currency most resonates with your buyers. They get 20% off by being a residence owner. And then on top of that, they get diamond status in the Accor Live Limitless loyalty program, which normally someone needs to spend 10,000 euros a year in traveling in Accor hotels to be able to get. Just by being a residence owner here, as long as they continue to own a Fairmont residence, they will have membership to this elite community within the Accor network. So that is something that is really, really key as a sales tool and has always had fantastic success with buyers. We have a dedicated residences website, which you're welcome to have a look at and point buyers to. It lists all of the residential projects we have around the world, which are currently in sales or have sold out. This is what people are buying into when they're buying here. They're buying into an incredible property with some fantastic residential facilities, and they become a member of a global community. And with that, I'll hand over to the rest of the presentations for tonight. If anyone has questions, I'm happy to take them later on. Otherwise, thank you very much. Спасибо большое. Bonne soirée.
Thank you very much, Daniel, for that incredible information. I have to say, very impressive, particularly when you look at Fairmont's incredible history. 116 years. We just heard about the success story that Accor is. I think they said one branded residence opening every 6 weeks, one global hotel opening every day of the year. Really is an incredible success story. Particularly, I think, when you consider, the landmark occasions and openings from the United Nations to Home Alone and beyond. It certainly is an incredible collaboration between Fairmont and the RSG group of companies. But now, I think there really is no doubt that when we consider this incredible new launch, the Fairmont Residences Dubai Skyline, there is no doubt that it marks an exciting new era for Fairmont. But first, before we look ahead into the future of Fairmont, let's pause for a moment, take a moment and step back into the incredible success story and the history of Fairmont around the world with this special video. Let's take a look.
Hey there, I'm Fairmont. I'm 116 this year. The oldest of all my peers. I look fabulous. I'm ready to embrace Gen Y or Gen Z. Everyone thinks I'm Canadian, but I'm actually an The Great White North has an iconic place in my heart, though. The First National Park, fairy tale castles. Oh, I love the Canadian spirit. I look as good casual as formal. I was born under a lucky star, the largest gold bonanzas ever. Keep that cash flowing, will ya? I have always shared my luck with friends. I named a hotel after Queen Elizabeth, and she became the longest reigning monarch. I have inspired the Queen of Cool, Rihanna, and she keeps going up, doesn't she? Break a leg, they say. Well, Marilyn took it very literally in Banff and became the sex symbol of all time. John took Yoko to bed. For peace, not for my turn down piece, I tell ya. Luck comes from fairness. I started sustainability when it was not a thing. Okay, I do love hot springs and a rooftop, honey. Ladies first, won't ya? I am the only one created by women power in a man's world. I'm not confined by walls. I lead differently, always with elegance, fairness, inclusivity, emotions on. I love travel, city life. I am good at doing business and also excellent at golf. That must have been when I overslept and overate. At skiing and at sunbathing. Do not disturb when I'm at the spa. I love a quiet retreat, but I also love the buzz. Fine dining, cocktail hour, gourmet living is my bread and butter. And dancing, I am the party. I turn any moment into memory, into history. I could go on forever. There are so many places I would like to be. Paris, Rome, Madrid, Amsterdam, Tokyo, Miami, Bangkok, Bali.
Fasten your seatbelts.
Let's rock it together and continue to rewrite our story. Fairmont.
An incredible success story. Now, as we heard a little bit earlier, this stunning new project, the Fairmont Residences Dubai Skyline, is the proud work of the RSG group of companies. Now, as many of you know, RSG has been proudly bringing you incredible projects across the UAE for more than 2 decades. These iconic projects have changed the lives of countless individuals in the UAE and beyond. And their future plans are very impressive too. In fact, they've set aside 5 billion dirhams for developments over the next 5 years. Now, RSG is very proud to be able to collaborate with VA Properties. They are going to be managing the sales and marketing for this incredible project. So with that in mind, I'm delighted to welcome our next 2 speakers to the stage. Baldeep Sani, who we met a little bit earlier, is the Chief Operating Officer of the RSG group of companies. Now, he is someone who has been linked to this project from the very beginning, involved in everything from the design to the technicalities, legal matters, sales and marketing and more. He's going to be joining us on stage in just a moment. We're also delighted to welcome Mr. Junaid Merchant. He is the founder and Chief Operating Officer of VA Properties, who, as we mentioned, is going to be doing an incredible job managing the sales and marketing of this stunning new development. Now, Junaid joins us on the stage with more than a decade and a half of real estate experience across the UAE and heading up an incredible portfolio of diverse and wildly successful residential and commercial developments across the UAE. Now, both of these gentlemen are joining us here on stage tonight because they are going to be giving you all the tips and the tricks and helping you create your successful sales pitch. So I really encourage you to listen to their advice tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Mr. Baldeep and Mr. Junaid.
Can you hear me, guys? Good evening, everyone. It's a bit shaky weather. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, first of all, for being here for us at this amazing launch of this amazing project. First of all, this year I complete 21 years of my life in Dubai. This is my home now. I complete 15 years in real estate, and this year we decided to enter into our first synergic partnership with the most humble millionaire here, Mr. Raj Sahani, which is commonly known as Mr. Abu Sabah as well. As you heard from Mr. Daniel, this is just not an average residences that you're selling. It is something of 100 years plus history of hospitality that you're selling to your clients. It's the greatest hotel that is opening up on Sheikh Zayed Road Belt. It will have something that you might not have seen before. And for that, us as brokers, because I come from the broker background and I understand that you need to understand minor details because devil is always in the detail. And to sell a project like this, you require the minor details and understanding of the product that you're selling. And who other than Mr. Baldeep to tell you that minor details, because he's been there since the inception of this project, designing wise and development wise. I hand over the mic to Mr. Baldeep Sahni, who is the COO of RSG Group, and I'll talk to you later about some of the commercial aspect. Over to you, Mr. Baldeep.
Thanks, Jay. When you're looking at what value we add as a developer, right? You're looking at our attempt to stand out and deliver something that is truly unique, that helps us differentiate what's the product that we're bringing to the market. And I said that it's possible to three things, right? You're looking at smart placement, you're looking at smart positioning, and you're looking at smart types, which I mentioned. So what makes this stand out, right? You're looking at Dubai as you know, Dubai is a growth story. It's only going to get better from here and better, right? And when you look at development pan Dubai, right? You're looking at getting a lot more dense than what you've seen now, right? And at that point in time, what matters is what will stand out in terms of offering convenience to the end user. The first of which is location. When you look at where we are located, we are bang on Sheikh Zayed Road, and you're also looking at getting access from Sheikh Zayed Road, which I'll explain in a bit. But you're looking at being positioned between DIFC, Palm Jumeirah, a minute away from the Mall of the Emirates, and you have different accesses, which I'll explain in a bit now. You're looking at the arrival experience. So when you talk about luxury, how do you deliver luxury, right? A lot of people give you conventional luxury, but when you give it on a platter and you give it quickly, that's when it's most appreciated, right? You're looking at how you're going to come to this project. We've got strategic permissions that help enhance the value of this project. You're looking at us buying the plot. That is itself a strategic acquisition, where the plot is the place where you construct the first RS for the first interchange, right? So this is enhanced visibility. You're looking at the prospect of having direct access to permission to build a roundabout in front of the project. This gives you direct access to Sheikh Zayed, which very few other projects can give you. You're looking at getting permission to have the hotel having a front face on Sheikh Zayed, which when you go after the first exchange, you'll not see that happening. So these are I think enhancements that we put in as RSG to ensure that every experience of yours is delivered very quickly, whether it's to the lobby, whether it's through the panoramic lift on the side for the F&B, where you're looking at the nightclub, access to the nightclub through a special entrance, for the branded residences, an exclusive entrance. Every experience is curated to give it to you on a platter and quickly. That's true luxury. When you're looking at design, right, we've also engaged, when I talked about strategic tie-ups, we engaged Receiver Zaraj, which is one of the leading and award-winning design firms that does all the top-tier hotels. And when I mean top-tier, luxury hotels. And when you look at the design narrative here, you'll see a lot of curves, something that's very expensive and difficult to deliver, and also speaks volumes about luxury. And this is you're looking at this, you're looking at arrival experience, you're looking at curves throughout the design narrative. It's amazing, it's different, it speaks volumes about luxury. And when you look at the branded residences, you have a separate entrance for that. So every experience is segregated, no crossover. You have a hotel experience, and for the branded residences, you have your own exclusive experience. Your separate entrance, your separate reception, your separate lift lobby, and a separate exclusive experience. Then you look at that, you have a separate set of amenities for the branded residences, right? What makes this project stand out? You've got the hotel having their own swimming pool, gym, spa, but the branded residences also get their individual, segregated, exclusive swimming pool. You get your own gym, you get your own children's play area, you get something called a chef's table, where you can order food from the Italian chef to celebrate your birthday or anniversary just at phone call. It's a phone call away, exclusively for the branded residences. You're looking at a cinema room, a lot of facilities exclusively dedicated for the branded residence, which is separate from the hotel facilities. This is the chef's table. You're looking at, of course, swimming pool, you're looking at your cinema room, you're looking at your gym, all these facilities, children's play area. Yeah? You're looking at branded residences that come fully furnished. And this is something that has been developed by Christian Zanish, but also approved by Fairmont. So what you see is what you get. This is not a render, it's not going to be shell and core. The only thing you need is a key, and that's it. You will get it exactly as you see it here. And you look at the design intent, you look at how you've got from floor to ceiling views throughout. I think he will explain to you, Junaid, later on. I won't get into that now. So, this, I think you want to have a look at this now. So I think Junaid,
thank you, Mr. Pradeep, for letting us through some of the key aspects of what you are selling into. Now, as brokers, when we are looking at the brochure, the most important thing that we look at any project to begin with is what is its location. Mr. Baldeep, he defined you the location of the project. I don't know, some of you are aware of it or not. We are currently 65% built. What I'm going to show you next is some of the commercial aspects of the project that will help you project it to your client. One of the best things about the skyscrapers of Dubai that we pitch it to our clients is the views. What is something that you are looking towards? And the biggest problem that we as brokers face is the views are never permanent. You are selling some view and tomorrow there is a building in front of it. We can proudly say that whatever is supposed to be built in Safu is already built and our views are permanent. Let me walk you through what are you going to look at when you are buying this property. You're looking at the two most beautiful properties over the Palm, Atlantis and Royal Atlantis. You're overlooking the entire Palm and the sea. You're overlooking Burj Al Arab. These are the most iconic buildings in Dubai. You're overlooking entire Palm as a palm. And from the other side, you are also looking at the city and Burj Khalifa. One of the most important thing about this project, which is a ground plus 53 project by the way, and I have not seen a project of a ground plus 53 building in which there is only 115 units for sale. And why? Because that's what Fairmont is known about, its exclusivity. So we have only 5 units per floor. We have 115 units in entire residences as typical apartments. On each floor, we have 2 units of 3 bedroom and 3 units of 2 bedroom. We do not have any studios or 1 bedroom. Another important aspect of this project, because you're selling luxury, luxury must have a special size. We cannot sell 1,000 square foot apartment and call it luxury. Our average size for a 2 bedroom is 1750 and our average size for 3 bedroom is 2350. Our prices are starting from 7.5 million. They go up to 12 million. 3 bedroom overlooking the Palm is starting from 11.8 million. 2 bedroom sea view and the city view starts from 7.5 million. We have Opulence Suite, Tranquility Suite, Harmony, Regal and Serenity Suite. Opulent and Serenity is 3 bed. All come within suite, all comes with the maid room. We have 3 units of 2 bedroom, Tranquility, Harmony and Regal. Now in order to summarize what you have heard so far from Mr. Daniel, what you're buying into as a brand, what you get as a brand, what your clients get as a diamond membership, you saw what location we are at. You saw how much we have built so far. You saw that you're not buying into just the residences, it's completely furnished, and not only furnished, it's designed by award-winning interior designer Christina Zelic. You saw what prices, and the cherry on top that we have, which we are proud of right now, is our payment plan. Which, by the way, we were supposed to change at that time of the event, but because of the brokers who were working with us at the time of the pre-launch, we have extended it for 2 weeks. Our payment plan starts with 20% booking, which is any off-plan property in Dubai, and 4% DLD. We have a 10% installment in Jan, 5 in April, 5 in July. By July, you're 40% paid and you have no installment till the handover. At 10% on handover, you're 50% paid and you get your keys. The balance 50% is post-handover, 3 years payment plan. Now I ask you brokers, tell me a branded residences, location on such a location, 65% built, with a Fairmont brand offering that price and that kind of payment plan. We're starting this journey of offering this package to our brokers because RSG has rebranded itself. They're now going to come up with the market next year, first quarter, with some more amazing projects in which you will see another aspect of our payment plan and strategic locations and furnishes and brands. And that's why we have invited all the brokers here to understand what is this RSG strategy is and how you can work with us together. I thank all of you to listen to me peacefully and patiently and understand our product. And I hope that you will go back and offer this to your premium buyers because this is what they deserve. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Junaid and Mr. Baldi. Certainly an incredible location.